Hi, this is Susan Brother from Speak Languages and Travel the World. Why is pronunciation so important? Many students think that we teachers exaggerate when we try and speak about the importance of pronunciation, but in reality, the difference between pronouncing well and badly is not only whether we can be understood, but whether we can be misunderstood. So let's start with understood. Words are not pronounced as they are written, as happens in other languages. The sound is completely different to the written word. Now, imagine I were to say to you, I love you. For a teacher, one could probably expect mistakes and try and understand it. But for your normal person on the street, it will not be clear because we're not used to thinking of words as they are written, but we're used to thinking of words as they sound. So if I'm expecting the word I love you, I'm looking for the sound love. I'm not looking for a different sound. And so love will mean nothing to me. It's only somebody who expects a mistake, like a teacher, who might be able to understand it. So the common person will be listening for love and will hear love and will not be able to understand what you're talking about. I mean, context helps, but in general, it's very difficult to understand a word which is pronounced differently because a foreigner will tend to pronounce words as they are written. The other thing is being careful not to be misunderstood. Now, take a look at this chart. This chart illustrates the difference between three sounds which are apparently quite difficult for foreigners to distinguish in words of the English language. Look at the vertical line on the left. It points upwards, representing the sound ah, as in bud. The horizontal line, pointing towards the right, represents the letter as in bed. Somewhere between a and is the sound a, which I represent on a diagonal because it's between a and a. A, as in bad. Bad. So, bud, bad, bed. Bud, bad, bed. How do we form the sound? We have to open our mouths with our mouths going up and down. Whilst to form the sound, the diagonal, we have to open our mouths wide. So up and down, and left and right, Apple is a word which is commonly mispronounced, and it's with the diagonal, apple. Bud, bad, bed. Bud is a flower which hasn't opened yet, so that's a bud. Bad is the opposite of good, and bed is the piece of furniture where you sleep. Bed. I recommend practicing the difference between the and the regularly as a mouth exercise. Opening up and down, opening from left to right. When I was 15, I went skiing with a friend of mine, a boy, who was from the United States and a girl who came from Italy, and her English wasn't particularly good. So we were all skiing down the mountain together when suddenly he gave her a jolt and she fell down. Now, she intended joking with him, and so she wagged her finger and said, "You are bed with me." So he understood the word bed, and he was very embarrassed. He said, I don't know what she's talking about, because she had said, "You are bed with me," indicating the word which is a piece of furniture where you sleep. Instead, she had intended, "You are bad with me. You are not good with me because you pushed me down and you made me fall." So this was a case where one can be misunderstood just from the difference of pronouncing bed or bad. So one has to be careful not to be misunderstood. I know a colleague of my father, a very well-dressed Englishman with a bowler hat and his umbrella, was walking on a street in Germany, and he hadn't been learning German for very long. He spoke to a lady, asked her something. He wanted to know the way to a certain street, and we don't know what he said, but she picked up her handbag and hit him on the head. So obviously she had misunderstood. He was really embarrassed because he was a very correct gentleman. So do pay attention to your pronunciation. Pronunciation is very, very important. Now, if you want to have any more information regarding the English language, pronunciation, and generally how to improve your English, you could hit the subscribe button on my YouTube channel, but you could also subscribe to have more updates on what I'm doing on my website. So don't forget to subscribe down here, press the button, put in your details, and you'll get regular updates on what I'm doing. Okay? Thanks a lot. Bye.